Good day. So we are here to train golf coaches today. My name is Alan Hirschman. I'm in the East region of Texas. I have been involved in Special Olympics for about 22 years. During those 22 years, I have coached basketball, volleyball, tennis, bocce ball, softball, and bowling. I've participated as an athlete on a unified team, and I have trained golf coaches now for the last 15 or 16 years, along with training other sports. A little bit about myself. I have been lucky enough to be the head coach or assistant coach for the last 3 Team Texas national games. In 2011, I was an assistant coach on Team USA for the golf team in Athens, Greece, and in 2015, I was the head coach for golf in Los Angeles. So I've been involved in many different levels, from being an athlete to being a head coach on a world team, and anything and everything between. So today we're going to give you the training session on being a golf coach. Now we're going to show you what's needed for a golfer to have on a golf course. Obviously, on a golf course, a golfer needs clubs, and I've lined up some clubs here that I'll go into a further explanation. They need a golf bag. They're going to need golf balls. There are many, many different kinds of balls. They're going to need tees for different shots that we're going to take, and a couple of different tools for different positions on the golf course. So starting out, I'm going to give you a little explanation on the different levels of golf. Special Olympics golf consists of 5 levels of golf. Level 1 is what they call a skills level, and you'll be seeing later in our training the different skills. There's short putt, there's long putt, there's chipping, pitching, irons, and woods. And I've got lined up here all the different clubs that they would use, from a putter to a driver. The golfers are going to train and practice to be able to move from level 1, which is a golfer that has never played before. You're going to teach that golfer how to hold a golf club, how to swing a golf club, how to set up for a golf club. Level 2 golf is that would be skills level. Level 2 golf is an athlete playing 9 holes with a coach or a partner. It doesn't have to be a coach, but that partner can act as a coach on the golf course for that athlete. So you can help them, or she can help them when it comes to how to grip a club, how to swing a club. Then you start getting into the higher levels. Level 3 is similar to level 2. It's an alternate shot. So I would tee off on hole number 1, or my partner would tee off on hole number 2, on hole number 1, and we would alternate shots till we putted the ball in the hole. And then if I teed off on the first hole, my partner would tee off on the second hole, and we would again play all the way through. Level 3 is playing 18 holes of golf and keeping score on each hole. Level 4 is now we're moving up in the skills of a golfer. A level 4 golfer is a golfer that can play golf on their own, and what level 4 is 9 holes individual. So that golfer is going to be playing their own ball, just like a PGA golfer would. They will have a caddy, and a caddy would be doing exactly the same thing as a caddy on a Pro Tour would be doing. It can help the golfer with club selection. You can help them with alignment, with reading a putt. Can't touch the golfer, but you can talk to the golfer. A level 5 is getting to the top level, and that's the golfer playing 18 holes by themselves with a caddy again, keeping score. And you'd be evaluating your golfers from the skills up to the level 5, and hopefully you can grow your golfers to get to the position from where they're starting at skills just learning to where they're out there playing by themselves, either 9 holes or 18 holes. So when we're starting golf, I've shown you clubs, I've shown you the bag with clubs in it. What I want to tell you is, in your beginning stages, your level 1 golfers, your level 2 golfers, don't go out to the golf store and spend $500 on a brand new set of clubs. You can find clubs to play with. Maybe you've got some of your old ones. If you have golf courses in your vicinity, people are always leaving golf clubs on the golf course. If you go to the golf pro and say, hey, I'm starting up a Special Olympics golf team, I need some clubs, do you have any that have not been reclaimed? You can probably pick up a pitching wedge, maybe a putter, some mid-irons, long irons, even a driver. You'd be surprised what's left on a golf course. Or you can go to stores and you can buy used clubs, but golf can be a very expensive game. As you're getting into your initial stages, don't spend a whole lot of money, because if the golfer doesn't want to continue, you've wasted a lot of money. So use many ways of getting clubs, many ways of getting balls. Again, at the pro shop, they probably have found balls. You can go online and very reasonably priced buy reused golf balls as opposed to buying brand new $50 a dozen Titleist or one mate. So when you're setting up and you're starting your program or starting with your golfer or golfers, also remember you might have a left-handed golfer, so you'll want to have a set of clubs, and typically the minimum you need is a putter, a wedge, a mid-iron, say a 7-iron, a long iron, a 3 or a 4, and a driver, whether it's a 3, 5, or an actual driver. That would be the minimum clubs you would want to start with. As the golfers got better and they learned more, you'd fill in with the full set pitching wedge, sand wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, 7/6 on up, maybe a 3-wood. Now they have rescue clubs, which take the place of some long irons. So you'd be using those. But remember, golf can be expensive. Use your imagination. So we've discussed the different levels, the 5 levels of golf. I want to show you a little bit now what you're going to see when you're getting your coach's manual, and this information is in your coach's manual. This would be a skills level score sheet, and on here it shows you the short putt, the long putt, the chip shot, the pitch shot, the iron shot, and the wood shot, and it gives you the scoring system, and it gives you how many of each shots they're going to take. And we're going to show you this later in the training session in the short putt, the long putt, the pitch, chip, irons, and woods. So you'll get to see that. I just wanted to let you know there is this information, so you're not trying to create it. We've provided everything you're going to need for coaching. In the manual, you're going to see instructions on how to warm golfers up prior to getting on the driving range or on the course, stretching exercises. You'll see exercises to be doing when they're not playing to make sure they're keeping their muscles in the off season. The coaching manual goes through the setup of how to set up a training session, your 8 or 10 weeks of training, what to do in each session, how to start, how to finish. The primary point is to get your golfers out there, and the most important thing is that they're having fun playing the game and learning the game. And once they learn the game, as they continue on, they'll have more and more fun doing it. I've shown you earlier that I've coached golfers in all levels. I've seen golfers shoot 120, and I've seen golfers on the world level shoot in the 60s. So you've got golfers of all levels, all skills, and you'll get to work with them and train them. We talked about training and sessions and teaching golfers the golf. So one of the things you want to start with a golfer when you're teaching initial is how to hold a golf club. So there's many different ways to do it. There are a few correct ways that will teach the golfer. And you might see, so a golfer is going to hold a club. That's the club. This is the grip. Typically the golfer is going to want to hold the club a little bit down from the grip. There's three main types of grips, and it's depending on the comfort. There's what we call the baseball grip, which is just grabbing the club, having the fingers touch each other. We'd rather not have a separation, because as they get into the swinging with a separation, their hands aren't working properly. So that's one grip. Another grip with what we call an overlap. So the left hand is on the club. The right hand, you take the pinky and put it between the pointer and the middle finger, and it would just sit on top of it, and then you grip around the club. The third method would be what they call an interlocking grip, which is the pinky and the pointer cross each other, and you would hold it. All of those are a proper way. It's a matter of what is the most comfortable for your golfer, for the person you're training. The easiest way to teach them how to align the club is making believe they're shaking hands with the club. And you hold the club so that it's straight. They take their right hand as they're shaking it. They take their left hand as they're shaking it, and they would have them on the clubs again, either in the interlocking, the overlapping, or the baseball grip. But that would give them the proper position by grabbing the club and shaking the hand of the club. So one of the things we've discussed is our training sessions, and the most important thing to remember in training sessions is safety. And safety, safety, safety. We want to make sure our golfers, like in any sport, are safe. And we will show you as we go through the training session about how to set up. We are taping this in November, and we are in the middle of COVID. So one of the safety precautions you're going to have is your athletes wearing a mask. As they're coming into the training session, as they're leaving the training session, during the training session, they'll be distanced probably far enough apart, over 6 feet, where they can then take their masks off. But we want to make sure we're following all of the safety precautions and all of the safety measures that we can to keep our golfers safe when they're playing and healthy before and after they're playing. These are two of our athletes in our East region. This is Jessica.
Hi.
Jessica is a level 1 golfer, and she is in the skills competition learning. And this is Steven, who is a level 3 golfer. He's my partner. He carries me on the golf course. You're going to be seeing both of them later in the skills competitions, in the skills setup, and in skill shot making. So Jessica, Steven, say hello.
Hi.
Thank you. So we are getting set up to go onto the driving range, or the practice facility, where you're going to be working with your golfers. And we've mentioned safety, and I'm going to show you some precautions to take when you're on the driving range. So I've got Jessica and Steven standing here, and we're all with our drivers. If we were to start trying to swing a club and trying to start playing right now, we would each be so close that someone is going to get hit with a golf club. So one of the things we like to do is separate, and the best way to separate the golfers where they'll be safe is to have them take their driver and extend it out. So Jessica, you're going to move, and now you're going to extend your driver out, Jessica. So this is going to give me enough room between her and me where I could swing and she could swing, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side to keep the golfer behind me out. So this would give enough room for Steven to be able to stand. So now if we all turn and we were going to hit, I would be able to make my swing and he would be far enough away and she would be far enough away as they would to their next golfers. So those are some training safety that we want to do when we're getting ready to go out and start swinging. So now we're going to show you the putting skills. There's two skills in putting. One is the short putt, which is the putt for accuracy. They're trying to make a putt, get it in the hole, and then we'll show you after the long putt. The short putt is done about 6 feet from the hole. There's typically a location you want to make sure when you're setting up your putting. Putting greens are all different, but you want to try and find a location where they're taking a straight, flat putt that doesn't have a lot of break to it. You're going to set up some markers that 6 foot distance from the hole, and then you're going to set the athlete up with their putter, and they're going to address the ball, and they're going to come to it, and then they're going to take their putt. And like the others, a swing and a miss is a stroke. A swing and in the hole is points. Again, that's in the coach's manual, and you'll see it where it is. So we're going to bring our two athletes in again and let them show you a short putt and see what we can do. So Jessica, come on in. And Jessica has her putter. Now putters are all different. You'll see that Jessica has a putter that looks a lot different than mine.
Mine's a 2-putter.
Hers is a little bigger and it's got 2 balls, but putters have a flat face to them as opposed to irons, short, long, and drivers, which all have loft to them, and we've discussed that. So Jessica set up to the putt. So again, she wants to have her feet in a line where she wants. We want to make sure her putter face is square to the target, so she has a target line, and now she's going to make her putt. Very good. And that would score a certain amount of points. Steven, come on up, and let's see if we can show them the clear putt. So Steven has a little bit different kind of putter, but it's the flat, and they're all good. It's what fits the athlete best, what works for the athlete best. It might take some trying and different. So Steven, let's see you make that putt. Good attempt. That would be scoring. So again, the short putt is your accuracy. Your short putt is for the money. We make it, we get our par, eagle, birdie. We don't talk bogeys and doubles and triples. But that's where we want to be on our short putt. Thank you. So now we're in the long putt. The long putt competition and skills is typically about 25 feet from the pin, and the idea on the long putt is to get the athlete to learn how to control their distance to try and get the ball from a point further from the pin, closer to the pin, to make a putt and put it in the hole. And typically there'd be set up either a ring of tees with some tape, or there might be paint that you'd have a circle, and the athlete is trying to sink the putt, and if not, get it within that inner circle and an outer circle, and different points would be scored. So they would come back, and the athlete would again set up behind the ball, and he would look at the hole, and they'd set up and they'd take their putt. And they would try and get it within the, try and make the putt or try and get it into the circle. So again, Jessica, come on up. And so this is now teaching distance control with the putter. We will talk a little bit later about some practice that can be set up to help athletes learn distance control with a putter. It's the hardest thing to teach in golf. So come on, Jessica, come on up, set up to the ball. It's set up the same way as we did for the short putt. And now let's see you hit that putt. Very good. Well, that's a little long, so the points would be less. Again, point scoring is all defined in your coach's manual. Steven, come on up. Well, let's see your setup. He's got his grip, he's got his feet, he looks at the cup, and now he hits it. Again, he hit it a little too hard, but that's all right. That's the idea of teaching the distance, and that's the idea of the long putt, to work on the distance. So now I'm going to show you some practice drills to work on the putting green with your athletes as help to learn that control. And what I've done here is I've set up 5 golf balls. The first one's about 3 feet, and then each one after that's about 2 feet away. And what you want to try and have your golfer do is start at the 2-foot one, and he'll putt it, or she, I'm sorry, and see if they can make it. If they make it or not, they move back. And this drill is to learn that distance control that we did earlier, short putt, long putt. And then we come back. And we come back. And we come back. And this is to get a feel for different distances. Ideally, you want to work with your athlete, and what you would like to have them do is make the first, make the second, make the third, make the fourth, make the fifth. If they don't, you might set it up and have them do it again, ultimately to the point where they can make those 5. And now what you've taught them is how hard to hit it from 3 feet to 3 feet, maybe 5, maybe 7, 9, 10 feet. And you can set it up further out. It's depending on the athlete's skill. Again, you want to try and set up a fairly straight, flat putt. So now we're getting into another drill that I've set up, and now we're getting into a drill that you'd be working with as your golfers are progressing and they're getting out of the skills into the upper levels. And what we're going to be teaching them here, we've got 4 balls set up in 4 places, 12, 3, 6, and 9. And we're going to have this putt will have some break in it, or it could be straight. And the idea is to teach the athlete how to A, maybe read the green, B, how hard to hit it. And this is again a skill that we could set up right now. I have it set up 4 places about 3 to 4 feet away. We could do it again where we move another ball and a set of tees out at 5 or 6 feet all the way around. So the idea here is again to get the athlete to practice putting from different angles where the putt could have different breaks to it. So they would be lining up behind the ball first, reading the green, and then making the putt, hopefully. And we would do all 4 of them with each one of our athletes. From the 12 o'clock position, and we'd have the athlete hit the putt and try and make the putt. And then if we had another set out another 3 or 4 feet, we'd have it. But this is typically done with some of your higher level athletes, or as your athletes are learning and becoming higher level athletes into the different levels of golf that we've talked about. It's again a drill to do for putting, as we've explained moving along. Okay, now we're going to talk about the pitch shot. And the pitch shot is used when you're off the green anywhere from 10 or 15 yards from the flag stick to maybe as many as 30 or 40 yards from the flag stick. And a pitch shot is taken with a lofted club that, remember, is either your sand wedge, pitching wedge, 9-iron, and the athlete is going to be taking a half swing from the iron or the driver test where they took a full swing. The athlete, you're going to teach them and work on them taking a half swing. So halfway up, hit the ball halfway through. The idea on a pitch shot is to get the ball in the air and on the green to allow them to putt the ball and hopefully put it in the hole and score. The pitching is set up in some multiple circles. Again, in the coach's manual, you'll see all of the rules and all of the setups for all of these different events. We're going to pan around and just show you real quick what it would potentially look like in a setup. There's dual rings. The cone in the center is what would be the cup, and then you've got a ring approximately 10 foot in diameter and 25 foot in diameter. And that athlete is trying to pitch the ball into those for the scoring. The scoring is again shown you in your coach's manual. So now we're going to get the athletes in and we're going to let them take a swing and show you what a pitch would be. So Jessica, come on in. Let me put the ball down. Come on over, Jessica. And Jessica has her pitching wedge in her hand. So we want you to address the ball, put your club behind the ball. And she's going to set up with the ball more to the middle of her stance. She's going to take her good grip. She's again going to line up with her feet and her shoulders square to the target line.
Okay, where's the hole from here?
The hole is a little cup.
Okay,
so she's getting her set up. She's gripping her club. She's looking, and then she's going to take her pitching swing, which is about half. Okay, Jessica, show them how to do it. That's a good try.
Let's
set it up again. Okay. Take another one. That would be one attempt in the pitching. A miss is an attempt, remember.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're doing wonderful.
Let me use doing the one.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let's bring our other golfer in. Steven, come on in. And again, we're going to show just the setup. He's going to set up to the ball. He's going to line the ball up approximately in the middle of his stance. He's going to grip his club. He's going to take his posture. He's going to look, and he's going to take a chip swing, which is about half a swing through. Okay, show him how to do it. Very good. Our setup right now is a lot closer from where they're hitting the ball to where they're pitching, but that would have been a very good pitch shot, and that is a pitching competition. now we are going to do the chip shot on the skills level of golf. And a chip shot is similar to the pitch. It's just typically used when you're closer to the green. So anywhere from a few feet off the edge of the green, which they call fringe, to maybe 10 yards out. A chip shot is going to be used with similar clubs to the pitch. You're going to use your sand wedge, pitching wedge, lob wedge, whatever lofted club your athlete has in their bag. And the swing is very similar. Instead of basically a half swing to the ball, they're going to be taking what I would tell them was a little harder putter stroke. So they're going to take here to the club to try and just get the ball onto the green and let it roll to the top. So the chip again is when you're closer to the green but not on it. A pitch is when you're out in the fairway and you're trying to get it on the green. So again, we're going to bring our athletes in and let Jessica show you how to take a chip shot. Again, the setup to the chip shot is the same as the pitch. You've got your two circles and your hole, and as we've shown you here, we have it set up on a driving range. You can set up your pitching and chipping typically to a putting green, and you're off of the putting green the proper distance. So Jessica, come on in, and now we're going to do a chip shot. So a chip shot, she's going to similarly line up, and she's going to come on up. She's going to square herself up. The ball will be placed again typically in the middle of her stance. She's going to grip her club. She's going to put her club behind it, and she's going to take a chip swing, which again is just
Excuse me.
that's fine. Take this foot and bring it forward a little. Okay. Now let's see if you can chip it. That would be a swing and it's on point. Take your time. Eye on the ball, your head stay. Very good. Okay, Stephen, come on in. Let's do a chip shot. So let's line up to the ball. In middle of the stance.
Thank you.
Middle of the stance, feet shoulder width apart. He's got his grip. And now he's taking a chip swing, which is just a small swing. Very good. Thank you. Good attempt. So on all of these skills and in all of Special Olympics golf, remember a swing and a miss is a stroke. A swing and a hit, whether it goes 5, 10 yards, 150 yards, counts as a stroke to the athlete. So that is the chipping skill. So we are in the iron shot of the skills development, and the irons part of skills are usually your what would be a long iron, your 7, 6, 5, and maybe now the rescue club. And what we're going to do is show you how to teach the athlete to set up, how to teach the athlete to square up, and teaching the athlete the proper positions of the ball and the club to the ball, and then swinging. So I'm going to bring in two athletes that we have working with us. I have Steven and I have Jessica. Come on over, guys. And they're both using 7 irons right now, and we will we will be showing you with them how to set up the iron shot in the skills competition. We're at a driving range and we're on a mat, and the mat's typically 3x3, and the driving range would normally be set up with lines at certain distances, and you can again see all of this in the coach's manual. We'll give you significantly more detail on how to set up a skills competition, and in this case the iron shot. So let me get Stephen over here, and we're going to put the ball down. And Stephen, I would like you to come and address the ball. Now what we want to make sure that he's doing is he is aiming out on the driving range, so we want to make sure his feet are lined up, and a good thing to do is possibly get some practice sticks, or you can use clubs, and lay it down in the line so that they're lining up appropriately to the target line. So we want their feet lined up, we want their shoulders lined up, we want their good posture that we'll talk about, and their head. And then we would have the athlete grip the club, and we'd have them take a swing and hit the ball. So that is the procedure. Jessica, come on in and let's get you take one. So Jessica, come on, let's set up to the ball. So Jessica is lining her feet up and getting her proper width of her feet, and now she's going to grip her club, and she's going to line her club up behind the ball. Very good. And now take a swing. Very good. Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
So that's the basic of an iron shot, and we'll talk a little bit more about the swing and the setup as we move on. So now we're going to move to the next skill level, which is the driver or wood shot. This competition can be done with any one of the drivers that your athlete would have in their bag, whether it's their driver or a 3-wood or a 5-wood, any one of those. And again, as in the iron shot, the course is set up from a tee box that's measured out, and the actual course that they're hitting to would again be lined with either just cones or markers on stakes, and they'll be set at a distance apart. Again, it's in the coach's manual. Describes the full setup on the driving portion of the skills. It will tell you how many swings, how many shots, and how many points an athlete would take. So again, we're going to bring our athletes in, and we're going to let them set up and show you the proper way to try and get them ready to hit a driver. So Jessica, come back in. And in the skills competition, as the coach, you are able to do the setup for the golfer and help them by teeing the ball up. You can help them aligning properly by verbal instructions. Rather not have physical by turning the athlete's body. But Jessica, I'm going to set up a ball here on a tee for you, and we're going to set you up and let you show them how to hit a driver. So we're going to put the ball on the tee. We'll try to. Okay, Jessica, come on and let's set up. And let's get you set up now on a driver. We want to make sure, yes. we want to make sure we have the athlete again set up. And so on a driver, the placement of the ball to the back of the left foot for a right-handed golfer, opposite for a left-handed golfer, feet about shoulder width apart.
Really?
Yes, the athlete will take their grip and they'll set up their club behind the ball. And oops, we have a windy day here. And so the athlete will now set up and they'll take their stance. And go on, Jessica, let's see you take a swing and hit that ball. Very good. So that would be their first shot, and then they would be taking, again, multiple attempts with the scoring taken up. Stephen, come on in, and let's have another golfer. Okay, so we are setting up, and our golfer is going to come and address the ball. They're going to take their grip on the club. He's going to line up his body square to the direction he wants to hit it. He's going to put his club behind the ball, take his grip, and then he's going to take his swing and hit the ball. Very good. And so that's the driving skill. Again, it can be done with a driver. It can be done with a 3-wood, 5-wood, as long as it's one of the what we call wooden clubs or driving clubs in a bag. Thank you.